In this video, the next part of my 1 year in the Netherlands series, I'll be talking about how 1 year in the Netherlands was also that year where I tried a lot of things for the first time in my life. Some of these things I tried here in the Netherlands and not in Nigeria because I didn't have access to them in Nigeria. And some of these things, even though I had access to them in Nigeria, I was probably lazy, not wanting to go out, not wanting to try out new things. So I didn't get the opportunity to do them while I was in Nigeria, but when I came here, I tried them for the first time. Now, there are a couple of things I'll be sharing in this video, and some of these things I'm actually excited about because I started the year not knowing a bunch of things like names of items, names of places, names of activities, experiences in activities, but then I ended the year having an idea of them. The first category of things I tried for the first time was food. While I was in Nigeria, I wasn't very used to trying out food I wasn't familiar with. I always wanted to stick with the food that I already knew, the food that I grew up with. And this is because sometimes when I try out new items, I may want to vomit. Not like the food is bad, but I'm not just used to it. This is also something where whenever my mom introduces a new food that she probably learned from somewhere and she wants to try at home, I always struggle with getting used to it. So whenever I visit my friends in Nigeria, if they're having something I'm not familiar with, I would rather not try. But I think when I came here, I first realized that this is not the place I was born, so most of the foods here will be super new for me, and I may not always find the food that I'm used to. So that kind of helped me open my mind, and it made me want to start accepting new food. So I started trying out new foods. Some foods I try and I'm like, it is well. And some other food I try and I'm like, wow, there are actually amazing foods in this world that I don't know about. That has been my journey with trying out new foods. Another thing I tried out was new activities. These are some of the activities I didn't try out in Nigeria, and you may even be surprised, but yeah. One activity was going to the beach and having fun at the beach. I have never been to the beach in Nigeria, but when I came here, I had access to it, easy access to it. I could just join my friends in their car and we had fun at the beach for the first time. When I mentioned that it was my first time at the beach to the friends I made here, they were so surprised, like, really? How is that possible? Well, that is my story. Another activity I tried for the first time was bowling. Now, bowling is something I've always wanted to try, but I've just been lazy. But anyways, I came here, easily accessible. Another activity I tried for the first time was going to the fun fair, which I think they call Chemis. I don't know if it's just here in Netherlands. Yeah, this thing involves like Ferris wheels, all of these high Ferris wheels and rail, a couple of these items. So I tried it for the first time. There was a particular time it was open in Amsterdam. My friends invited me and we went there, and I tell you that this is not something that I would want to do again. I did it for the first time, even though I know it was scary. I'm not a fan of height, so going as high, viewing the ground, yeah, that was a terrible experience, but I did it for the experience, even though it wasn't a good one, and it's not something I want to try again. I would leave a link to an Instagram highlight that I have where I shared my experience in the fun fair. Maybe you can check it out if you're interested. And one more thing I tried out for the first time was actually traveling with my friends to a different city. This is something I've always wanted to do. I see it in movies and I'm like, I want to try this one time. Go with my friends to a different city that probably it's our first times. Book an Airbnb and explore the city together. I've always wanted to do that, but let's say I never got the opportunity to, or I was never just serious about it. But during the summer last year, some of my friends, we went to Belgium together. And another time, me and my friends, we went to Paris together. They were amazing experiences, just doing it together with my friends, having good and bad experiences, even in this new city with my friends. That's something I really enjoyed doing for the first time. And this year, I hope to do probably more of it, or just do some solo travels on my own because I haven't done a solo travel before. And a bunch of other things like ingredients that I knew for the first time, snacks that I knew for the first time, names of places I knew for the first time. Like I can remember at the beginning of the year, whenever I went to probably try out a new dish, my friends would be explaining the ingredients for me and I'll be like, I've never heard of this before. Or let's say want to do something and they're like, do you know this? And I'm like, I don't. They also could see that I wasn't really exposed to a couple of new things. So it's so nice to see that at the end of the year, whenever they make references to something, I'm like, of course I know about it. Of course I've been there. Of course I know what you're talking about. So I think it was just nice to see how I started not having so much knowledge about things related to the Netherlands, or things I never just got the opportunity to know about in Nigeria. And then after 1 year, I now have a good idea and good knowledge on these things. But anyways, I just wanted to share this because it's one experience I'm personally proud of, 1 year being in the Netherlands. But watch out for more videos I'll be sharing in this series. Peace.